Hello everyone, Dean Ellis here from Dartech, and today I'm going to take you through articles and article categories. But before I do, I want to make sure that your WYSIWYG editor that we installed a few tutorials ago is set up correctly. So what we're going to do is the first thing we go into Systems, we go to Global Configuration, and we make sure that the default editor on the Site tab, you can see the Site tab here, the default editor is set to TinyMCE. Okay, now the reason we do that is when we come across to creating forms later on in the tutorial series, and you want to have a WYSIWYG editor against certain fields on the form, we're going to use TinyMCE on a basic version. Alright, it allows people to do a little bit of formatting, but not too much. Alright, so we leave that as a default there. Once you're happy with that, we go Save and Close. We then go to Users and User Manager. Okay, you click on Yourself, and now you should be the only one in the list because you should be the only one using this at the moment, your website at the moment. Okay, and we click on our default editor here, which is our basic settings in the Basic Settings tab. Our editor should be JCE. That's the editor that we installed a few tutorials ago. Okay, if you haven't, if those that have come in early and haven't seen this, and you may not have JCE, I highly recommend you go and find it and install it into your Joomla session. It's the, if not probably the best editor that Joomla has, and it's all free. All right, so let's make sure that's set to JCE. Once you have that, save and close. Okay, and now we can get into articles and article categories. So when we create an article, before we do that, we need to make sure that we have a category. Now, a category is basically what you group your articles under different categories. So if you have a recipe website and you want to have a whole pile of articles on chocolate cake, you'd have a category of chocolate cakes. Or if it's just cakes, or you could just go cakes and group all your cakes under the one. Right, so that's how we do your articles. A lot of people tend to write the article and then create a category for that article, and then write another article and create a category for that article, which is completely pointless. So have a think about what your site's going to do, and just create a few categories that'll help you with your grouping and searching or organizing your articles. So the first thing we do is go to Content, and we go to Category Manager. Okay, and what we're going to do is click on New. Okay, now there's a whole pile of fields and options that you can put in here. Okay, publishing, permissions, options, all that sort of stuff, and descriptions. But all you really need to worry about for categories, and that's all I ever worry about for categories, is the title and to make sure it's published. Okay. Later on down the track, if you're going to have members, you might cover off on some access levels if you need to, but not normally. So in here, I'm going to type in Joomla, okay? Or Joomla tutorials, that might be. So that's a good category there. So that's all I'm going to put in there. Yes, it's published, and that's it. We go Save and Close, and that's our first category. So let me just go back into. Let me just recheck this filtering. I was doing a little bit of cleaning up before I did the tutorial. There it is there. So Joomla tutorials is our first one. Let's just create another one. So we go New. Okay, again title. We're going to go, okay, happy with that, it's published, great, save and close, okay, and that's how easy it is to create an article. So what I'm doing here is I'm in the dartechtutorials.com site, and I'm grouping some categories for different tutorials that I'm going to be writing. Alright, Joomla tutorials, Artisty tutorials, I'll probably do some extension tutorials later on, and so on and so forth. But that's the concept, that's how you do it. Okay, now, what we can do now is go into writing an article. Now there's two ways you can get to that. Because we're in the articles and categories section already, all we need to do is click on the articles tab on the left. The other way is go back into content, click on the article manager and add new article. Okay, so we just click on article manager for now. Okay, let me just okay. So here we are in the article manager. Now if I go to content, article manager again, and this way I want to come back to the same place. So it's the same link to the same area. Okay, and all we do here is go New, and we start filling out the forms. So title, okay, and in here, now notice the text in the editor here is a little bit small, and it's a light red issue. That's just a a CSS issue that we can fix up. Okay, it's picking up the content styles from the web page itself. So in our JCE editors, JCE component, we can fix it up as a global configuration. So we have our title, we write our article content, you can add pictures, and I'll show you how to do all that when we go through the JCE tutorials a little bit later on. But at this stage, first article, and what we need to do is then go to a category. Let's give it the Joomla tutorials. Alright, tags, put some tags in here. Okay, this is what the search engines tend to use, these fields and the metadata fields, for finding articles and helping out with search queries. So it pays you to put some of these words and stuff in here. So all you do is to fill it out, you just put in the word and then a comma. Alright, and that puts it into it as a tag. Once you have it, get out of there. Alright, we're going to make this a featured article. Okay, so it's in there as a featured article now. We make sure that it's published. Leave the access level as public. We're not at the different levels of access stage yet. Okay, version notes are free text for you to put whatever you like in there. You really don't need to do anything in it at all. Okay, and that's the first page. So the next tab is publishing. First thing you see are the 3 dates. Start publishing is the date you want the article to be published. Now if you want it published straight away, leave it blank. If you want it to be published a week from now, you add a date and you put it a week from today's date. It will then publish that date. If you want it to come down after a certain date, you put the date you want it to come down, and it will stop publishing after that date. Okay, create a date. You can add a specific date in there in the past if you like, or just leave it blank for defaulting to today's date. Okay, created by, you can select a user by who it was created by, and it'll bring up the list of users. Now obviously there's only one in there. If you leave it blank, it defaults to the person that's logged in. Okay, created by alias. If you don't want to see don't want people to see your username or your name as the author of the article, you can put whatever you like in this field, and that'll come up instead of your name. Okay, the grayed out fields you can't touch, so just leave those blank. Okay, the meta description, I usually put the first paragraph or as much of the first paragraph into the meta description as I possibly can. Alright, and then in the meta keywords, you pull out keywords from the article and place them in this field. Now it's important that you do this because this improves search engine optimization, and it gets your articles further up the search list in search engines such as Google and Yahoo and all those places. So it's important to fill those 2 fields out. All the rest I just leave alone. Okay, images and links, don't touch these. This is nothing to do with images and links inside your article. You build those and create those from the WYSIWYG editor. This is just bells and whistles that you just don't need around the article. It just makes a mess of it. I don't use them at all. Options, leave everything set to global. Okay, we'll set these options up, these particular options up, in the article's global configurations. So you're not having to set these every time you write an article. So leave them as use global. Leave that as global, and permissions, we leave those as they are because we haven't actually touched permissions yet. Okay, once you're happy with it, we then just go save and close, and there it is. There's your first article. Okay, what we're going to go on with next is the menus in the next tutorial. Hope you enjoyed this one and got something out of it. Have a practice, play around with it, learn. Feel free to crack on. If you like this tutorial, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. That would be appreciated. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.